everybody. Let me see if we're working okay before I really get into it. All right, cool. Sorry about the video on the last one, huh? My name is Robert, this is Deep Cycle Blog, and yeah, what a beautiful cloudy day, huh? Somewhat beautiful. A little bit windy. It wasn't windy when I looked out my window, but that's how it is right now a little bit. So I have to have my wind blocker hat on. Even though I have my short sleeve shirts, shirt and shorts, I have to wear my wind blocker Barclavia just because the wind will drive you crazy. In your ears the whole time here. Shit. So what's going on, everybody? In my life, I realized I did a lot of talking in the last video, and you missed the last 2 minutes. I realized the camera was also down the whole way. I don't know how that happened. I think it was maybe I was trying to keep the sun out of my eyes. So I hope that doesn't happen again. Sorry for no descriptions either. I was just trying to get it up there. Truck stop over there. Dairy Queen, huh? I haven't rode in a week. I'm gonna try to ride more, everybody. I feel terrible not to ride for a week. I don't need to turn fat like all the people around me. That's just for me though, that's not about them. I really don't have anything with my health. What's going on? There's a lot of things happening, man. Like how is America having an effect on me? Well, let's see here. I had KFC last night. I had 3 chicken breasts. Now, and I had some popcorn. That's the only thing I ate yesterday, but you know, they got KFC in China, right? I can't hear my distance. They've got KFC in China, but I never really ate it because it's too expensive and not good for you. But my roommates got KFC and offered me 3 pieces. I'm running low on my food supply as I finally get paid. For the first time in America in 2 days, I'll get my first American paycheck. Here's my lap speed. I know you guys can't hear it. It's in my headphones. I know you guys are missing the music, sorry. But like, it's coming on to 26. So I've been in America almost 45 days right now. And finally getting paid once. I'm happy, but I need to get paid more, you know. Now, why do I need to get paid more to buy KFC and American food? Nah, I'm good. I mean, I don't need to do that. And the question is like, what do I need? And that question, man, it's like there's 2 ways to answer that question. Number 1, you could answer the question that I have nothing here except for what I have, and I need to get my family prepared to come here. And I feel like I've been softening up a little bit, you know. Haven't rode my bike that much since my job started. Because of the weather. Look at me. Getting out of shape. Getting lazy. Just a week of exercise, right? I love these little western villages, man. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But that's one thing what you need. But then I started to find there's things that I need and kind of want, and like my autism is going crazy with it. Like a car. I've started to convince myself that I need a car for when my family gets over here. And I started to look at cars like, oh, I forgot to put my bike seat up, huh? I started to look at cars like with great interest, going through Craigslist and reading about them. I haven't looked at cars for more than 20 years. For all that time in my life, I never had any want or any need for a car. But now, I'm starting to get that itch. I need to get a car, and for when my family gets here. Now I know it's gonna get cold and icy. But I was actually telling myself, like, it'd be helpful for me to have a car right now. Now, whenever I start looking for stuff like being autistic and stuff, I really get into the sorting and comparisons. So I was thinking about getting like a 1981 or 82 or 79 Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck. That was my first inspiration. The diesel kind. Because they get more than 40 miles a gallon. And I could put my bike in the back, right? Now, they don't have a lot of seats in there, and my kids can't fit on there But I told myself, between $1,000 and $2,000, and I'll get another car from my family when they get here. That's one thought that went through my head. Another thought was to spend $750 a month and get a Model 3. That thought went through my head. And then I started to look. I can't get a Model 3. Wake up in the morning with a full tank of gas. I thought, how about a newer diesel? Like 2000, 2001. And I started to look at the Golf diesel, which there's not too many of them. Oh, Mac is still, did you see that? I looked at and I thought, well, how about if I can't get let me line up those diesels, and then how about a bigger car that could fit my family and my bike inside. I saw the Subaru Baja. Wow, that's pretty cool, but too much money. It's like an El Camino. And then I thought, well, how about the Subaru Impreza Outback Sport, because those go for about $1,500 to $3,000, and they get 22 to 30 miles a gallon. 28 or something, right? I thought, how about those? And they get good gas mileage, right? Not really good, not really bad, but it's cheap, and they're supposed to last for a long time. I also looked at the Volvos, and even a Carmen Ghia that somebody was selling looked great. Only $3,800. Can't hold my bike though. I thought I would sell it again. So I see all those possibilities, and you know, it's hard to say, but I was looking in Craigslist, doing something haven't done for a long time. Thinking about getting a car. Thinking about spending money I don't even have yet. Now I know this is an autistic thing, but it's also an American thing. And I'm not sure if I like that part of me. You know, I'm riding a bike now and I haven't had a day in forever that I felt like I needed a car. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure that I accept that fact that I need a car right this instance. Now, it would make some things easier, sure. But I'm not quite sure that it's as necessary as I tell myself. So, it's pretty difficult, you know. My paycheck is so little. Oh, the wind. And I have such a heavy amount of work to do. Send money to China. Top thing. Right now, I still don't know how I'm going to send money to China. I need to get it in my WeChat account. Chin. Need to pay the rent, and I need some money here. It's all pretty difficult. I just had 3 days off. Sunday, well, I work Saturday night to Sunday morning, so I had Sunday night off, Monday night off, Tuesday night off. They call this the long week. And during my time off, you know, I didn't go riding. Number one, like, I try to keep my sleeping schedule. So that means that if I go riding, it'll be nighttime and colder. And I don't have a lot of lights. I also don't have a lot of money. I don't have any money. To get supplies for camping. And Tesla has online training classes. And some things that you do, you need certification that you get from completing these online courses. I've been doing as many certification classes possible so I could try to get promoted to a position that allows more overtime. Before I came to Tesla, I read a lot of people saying that they're getting tons of overtime, and since I've been there, I work with a lot of people and everybody gets overtime. However, there seems to be a change in policy, at least for my boss, because everybody's got different bosses. And I can't really talk about Tesla stuff because that's their private business. I can only say that they're only giving overtime and my boss to more qualified, experienced technicians. And you know, so I'm aggressively trying to become one of those that can get overtime, even though other people with other supervisors get overtime all the time. I'm not going to dwell on that issue. I'm just going to try to do what it takes to get overtime. I mean, I'm not at Tesla for the money. Of course you guys should know that, right? However, just getting on my feet in America, I want to try to get as much money as I can to get established here There's a lot of complex things going on, like immigration. I mean, there's no clear sign of what their thinking is or where they are at with letting my wife come in. And my wife and kids are sitting there waiting to come in, and I'm waiting too. And trying to get ready for them. So that is not knowing what they're gonna do and when they're gonna do it is really tough. You know, what are they gonna do? I don't know. When they're gonna do it, I don't know. What happens next? I don't know. They got this caravan of people coming here from South America and all over. And all you can hear is a ton of people every day on the news, in the comment section of stories. Even my own mom, who I talk to occasionally. Oh, look at that little line over there in the mountain. What's that about? Never saw that before. So there's gold in there, huh? You hear everybody saying, like, don't let those people in America stop the caravan. They're coming to do bad things. You know, when I sit here in America and I see the excess waste that even the poor people have, and I'm not trying to badmouth America, but a lot of people are really wasteful and fat, and they waste money on big cars, gas, and I know this family that is like so obese, and they don't got a lot of money, but they got 4 trucks. They use a ton of money. I don't know, man. I don't know them personally, but everybody's getting loans and when I hear people say, oh, like look at that Mustang, what do they need that for? It's probably some kid. When I hear them say that they're coming to bring drugs in, and take a look at that guy carrying a truck. I mean, everybody's here so rich, and they've got so excessive toys. What I haven't seen people in other countries have. They've got so excessive materialism shit. If America's got so much wealth, they should remember the immigrants that built that. And I tell the people that there should be a legal way for those caravans to immigrate. I can't even get my wife, an American mother of my children in, and I'm an American citizen. There's no way those less fortunate in the caravan have a legal, accessible way to enter this country. They can't just show up, get a job for $40,000 a year. I mean, my kids are all American citizens, and it's still not enough to get them to let my wife in yet. So I know that all those people complaining are not Native Americans. And I know there was a point in history where their families came, even quite near here, the wagon trail. Make America great again? What do you mean great? Like when caravans came here the first time and were welcomed? I mean, the American Indians welcomed the immigrants. And look at how bad those guests were. Took everything, killed the Indians, closed the doors. They let their caravan in. They won't let others. My family's caravan, right? So I feel very sympathetic and sad towards those families. And look at the mobile homes. I mean, come on. I like mobile homes. I think it'd be fun to go driving in four-wheel drives off-road. It's not a necessity. Mobile homes are not what makes America great. Humanity should be our greatest national resource. Showing humanity to others should be how we make America great again. And I mean, it's no lie. You don't have to be a history revisionist to understand that America was made, unfortunately sometimes, caravans from immigrants, because the American Indian, I mean, it's a little ironic to say the immigrants made America, because the Indians actually had a thriving culture for thousands of years that we don't even know about. So we can't say America was made from immigrants, but we can say, famously or infamously, they played a great contribution. So the hypocrisy of the media and those with their trucks and their toys and their excessive waste, that's something else. Oh, I feel one of my back tires out of sure now. I haven't checked it out yet. Bad news is my phone. I dropped my phone and my speaker doesn't work anymore. So I need to get my speaker fixed. I don't know anywhere here that can do that. So that's a bad thing. You know, I have to be very careful with this phone because it has WeChat on here. Look at that mobile home. And I don't know, if I lost WeChat, I couldn't pay the bills for my wife and kids. And if I get another phone, it's very hard to get WeChat on my other phone. To transfer it, I'd be very scared, you know. So, yeah, it's pretty tough. Yeah, we got police up here. Police and helicopters on the street. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What the heck? places. Lots of place. So I just wanted to say that, and you know, it's the peculiar position in talking about America. You hear that truck? I mean, unreal, unnecessary. But I just wanted to say that I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean, it is a negative thing, but I almost want to say, forgive them, they know not what they do. Or just as I've seen Chinese people from all walks of Chinese life, farmers, city people, educated, uneducated, people make decisions, and generally their personality is derived from their scope of experience. Like a scientist who's calibrating their tools. How do you calibrate your sense of humanity? Well, like Darwin said, it's quite simple. You're a product of your environment. Many Americans know, or they might know, but think about and analyze and use in daily dominant discourse the various facts of their history. I can say that they have access to the factual parts, and they have information more than Chinese people have. However, in China, their government is simply hard blocked access to that information, erased it in a way, almost like America's history is controlled through social engineering and selective coverage, almost like a softer approach to control. But control is control nonetheless. And regardless of which road you take, bottom line is not all people are aware of, or acknowledge, or even contemplate history and prior precedents. And oh, it's so pretty, huh? Isn't this beautiful, everybody? Fresher air, I'll tell you what. It's nice. But what I'm getting at is a lot of these people are good people making bad choices based on limited scope of knowledge and influence. They're not choosing. They're not actively choosing to be inhumane. And given the opportunity of expanding their knowledge and becoming more enriched in the human experience, I have no doubt their perspectives would change and have a changing results on their actions. But the fact is, just as the people in China, just as the people in Germany, this is a human affliction, not one limited to nationality. It's sad. Look at that truck. It's a private van carrying a truck. We cannot live in a world society where people in the world are dying and families are starving to death and living in misery, while other people are driving private Greyhound buses, towing 4-runner trucks. I mean, if you look at a matter of science, I'm quite sure that overweight, obese person driving that bus, pulling that 4-runner, 4-wheel drive, you can't say that they create more value to society than those people in that caravan fighting to get to America. And technology and science, because remember, we can only see further because we are standing on the shoulders of giants. That person would not be driving that private Greyhound bus, pulling a 4x4 truck, if those Chinese men and other immigrants did not come and give their lives working to make the railroads. And if there was not war and stability around the world, which allowed the industrial age to prosper in the US, there's so many factors that led up to that person with that Greyhound bus and that 4x4 that allowed him to have that were outside of the scope of his own personal experience or achievements. I think that we will only be a technologically advanced group of civilizations on this planet when all people have access. They don't have to have their own private Greyhound towing a 4x4, but there shouldn't be such a vast contrast that forces them to live in poverty, pain, and hunger. We do not have such a divide of technological capabilities and knowledge that mandates such an uneven distribution of not wealth but humanity and technological achievement. It should be something available to all people of this earth. What we see when we see the people in Europe and we see America threatening to call their army out. Can you imagine if all those unused billion-dollar bombs and bombers and pieces of war equipment for wars that never happened? Can you imagine if that money was spent to go over to those countries where those people are coming from, and instead of spending the money on unused bombs, spend them on schools and hospitals and things that could be of very good use? Unlike the unused war materials, these people would thrive, and rather than a one-way immigration, many Americans would probably choose to go immigrate and try their countries and benefit from their cultural knowledge and contribute to other countries instead of having immigrants only contribute to the US. Have the joy of going to another country. Be as joyful as owning your own private Greyhound bus. That is something people need to think about, because right now those people The only thing that's stopping this from occurring on Earth is those people with short-sighted greed who have the vision of buying one more toy, one more Greyhound. Not looking at what is bad for somebody else, but talking about what you want to keep for yourself. How could you enjoy such excess and put a hand on a mother and child's forehead as they desperately try to escape pain and poverty? Now you can talk about the destabilization of the past and the regime changes and things that led up to this situation, but I don't think that's necessary. Given today's technology, instead of talking about the facts of what happened before, we should be looking forward to what can happen differently. I saw in the news a $1 billion Air Force stealth bomber had to make an emergency landing in Colorado. And I could only think why there was nobody talking about the fact that that cost $1 billion to begin with. Nobody's going to talk about that? Do we need $1 billion bomber? Yeah, there's a lot going on in the news, huh? You know, the whole thing about Saudi Arabia killing a journalist. Do you know what people should be thinking about? That should draw light to what's happening in Yemen. I think I talked about before the Saudi Arabia thing even happened, I was listening to a podcast about how Yemen's, and I told you guys how, I think we talked about it, how China and Saudi Arabia was planting alfalfa and other crops along the Colorado River. They're renting land because their aquifers were depleted, and desalination is very expensive. And I think I talked about, I learned that Yemen's entire aquifer, their entire water supply has been depleted. And that led to the fall of the government, instability. And Saudi Arabia was attacking them. You know? And war. But here's what you need to understand is their entire country doesn't have any water. I mean, people are talking a little bit about their hurricanes in America, but we are seeing an entire country that has their aquifer depleted. They have no water. Now I'm sure this isn't just happening in Yemen, but while everybody's focusing on the negative aspects, and rightfully so, of what they did to the Washington Post journalists. The thing is, there's tons of monstrosities being happening against the entire population of Yemen. The general public has no water. And there's not just Yemen's population. There's many other countries facing challenges too. So this is a really bad thing, right? It's a bad thing happening. And the worst thing is not what happened to one thing, to one human. The worst thing is it's happening to an entire population, and there's not even discussion, right? And I noticed as I listened to the news here in America, very similar to China. The topics of coverage are limited to about one or two major domestic topics, a couple sports topics, some trivial, and I mean trivial like not on an international scale, topics of somebody being murdered, some kid being hurt, or some localized tragedy. And the news coverage is almost as systematic as a gladiator. The formula, the composition of each 30-hour, 1-hour news update is so similar and so limited in scope. I have not heard one story about Africa. In Africa, being as large of a continent, it can hold North America, China, Europe, Japan, India, all those countries within the confines of the size of the continent. You don't hear one story. The only stories you hear out of Europe are limited in scope. The only thing you hear from Russia, of course, is negativity. You don't hear about any other countries at all. Besides the mainstream Cold War is starting. China. Not just China, what about Asia and stuff? So I try to educate myself, and it's tough to go through all the regurgitated stories. It's like the whole world and country lives inside its own echo chamber, right? And you can't have a conversation with the common nationalist, because all you get is their arguments, which you could understand very well because you've seen all the talking points on TV. So why even bother? Well, anyways, sorry to be so deep on my Deep Thoughts blog. So yeah, I'm thinking about getting a car, truck, an Impreza Outback, or a diesel. I'm also thinking about starting to go bike riding. Oh, I'm sorry, not bike. I'm bike riding. My knees are hurting. Gotta put my seat up, huh? Starting to go swimming. I'm thinking about that, everybody. Now, the thing is, to go swimming costs a lot of money, like $200 to start. Why does it cost $200? Well, I like to be part of swimplan.com to get the swim workouts, and I got to get trunks, fins, fin socks, pool buoy, paddles, snorkel. I never had a front-facing snorkel. I want to try that. Goggles, swim cap, kickboard. I thought about trying to swim an hour and a half a day. This winter is coming. I got to try to be healthy. It's a logistical challenge to go from work and to swim and to be in bed before 9:30, have enough time to cook to go to work. I'm going to try to swim Monday to Friday. I got to put my seat up. I should continue to try to ride, but I don't know, man. $250 or so with the pool fee. I have the option ride my bike, which has a certain amount of risk in the winter. Thank God it's not that windy right now, huh? Or I could go to a gym. That'd be cheapest, but I don't know I'm not really into the gym thing, you know? It would be cheaper though, and maybe easier, or go swimming every day. This is a decision that I'm pondering. All the swim stuff I need to buy, I had in China, unfortunately. I have to decide, everybody. And I have to commit myself. I'm losing hair so much, it's scary. I don't know why I'm losing hair like this. I never thought I was gonna have the problem. So I'm wondering, it's like, is it because I'm having NutraSweet a lot? Is it because I'm having cancer? My hair is thinning out and I'm losing hair so much. I don't know why. It's startling for me. So sure it's pretty over here. I am trying to adapt to Tesla. Boy, since I work at Tesla, I don't talk about Tesla that much, huh? Yeah. I'll try to get back in a routine. I don't know. Hard to say. There's the Gigafactory up there. You know, I have to turn off the camera when we get up here. Not my fastest time here, that's for sure. But they have a meeting before my shift, and I think it's the earnings call, and I want to see it. It's historical. I can't take the shuttle because then I'd miss the meeting, so I decided I cooked my food ahead, and I might as well try to come and see what it's like, you know. I really am trying my best and giving it all my heart. If I wasn't working at SpaceX or Tesla, I don't know where I'd be working. You know, Nicholas Negroponte and the one oil LPC project's dead. They're one of my idols. There's a lot of negativity in the state from all the people coming to work for Tesla, and the local housing is going up. I have to save my money and try to get an apartment for my family soon. You know, I'm trying not to spend any money. It's real easy when you don't have money to spend. So that's why I don't know about the swimming thing or not. I don't know. Everybody, thank you for riding with me. I've got to turn this off so I don't get in trouble. Ride safe. Please subscribe. Be humane. Catch you later. Bye-bye.